Okay, shalom, shalom. Kwam Yasha Allah, Koholoimla, Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim Rakah HaKodash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and that by the Spirit taught us this beautiful truth. And just want to say the water to all the H.I.M and Akwaf that's out here sincerely keeping the laws, the statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai to the best of their ability. This is Yachanan the Waf. Just coming at you with another quick lesson, praying that it's edifying by the Spirit. They wanted to touch on this article with this Eve to just show, hey, you women can't do it alone, man. Esau Edom, the so-called white man, has told you that you don't need a man and that you can do it all by yourself, and that's just not true. Everybody needs some damn help, especially in this man's kingdom. You see? So let's get some of it. And this is in law and crime. Everything that's got to do with a damn crime is in this this particular app, but you see a lot of judgment in here. But it says, mom who tried to delete her 3 kids to make them go to heaven was comforted by her 5-year-old son who told her it's going to be all right. Well, hey, you probably won't ever get to live with her anymore. Not in this day and time, you know, before the Lord's coming. They would never allow her to have these children back, man, in this man's kingdom. Not in Esau's kingdom, man. He'll put them through unless they have some family members, you know what I'm saying? Which, in this particular case, reading through the article, she may not have had no help, or, you know, Eve burned a lot of bridges too. You know, Eve will cuss her mom out. She'll cuss her dad out if he's around. But mainly she'll cuss out them aunties. They at the family barbecue, everybody drunk, and she fuck you, bitch, and you know, just burn bridges with everybody and can't get no help. But it says an Illinois woman was accused of stabbing her 3 young children at home, and one of the kids told hospital staffers that their mom was allegedly trying to make them go to heaven. With this long ass name, Orina Raquel Curry Parker White, 23 years old. She was charged with 3 counts of attempted murder, you know what that is, and 3 counts of aggravated battery to a child. She and her 3 children, 1, 3, and 5 years old, were found by a tow truck driver outside their Chicago apartment, according to the courtroom reporting. Prosecutors said on Saturday that Parker White's 1-year-old daughter was spotted by a tow truck driver on Wednesday wearing nothing except a bloody diaper. According to the court documents obtained by local Fox, the driver, 50-year-old, he reportedly saw Parker White leaving the home carrying another one of her children, who was also covered in blood. He rushed the family of 4 to the nearby hospital. He spoke to the news affiliate about his encounter, telling the outlet she kept screaming like, "I need help, help me, my baby." What the fuck is you screaming you need help for if you done it? I called the police and they didn't come. So at first I wasn't going to put them in my truck with the blood, but I threw them all in the truck. And that's Jake, man. You know, Jake thinking about their prized possession before they think about an Israelite life. You know, nope, you ain't gonna mess up my interior. You know what I'm saying? You know, the average person would just be thinking like, let's go. You know, it's a life at stake, babies at stake. That's you know, I'm not sure if this is a Jake or not. More than likely was. But it says, police said that all 3 children had wounds to the wrists and were admitted to the hospital in serious condition on Wednesday. Upon their arrival at the scene, there was reportedly a trail of blood going from the apartment out to the streets. Prosecutors stated that Parker White allegedly told several law enforcement officers that she done it and knew what she had did was wrong. Her apparent reason, you go right here, it says her apparent reason for the alleged attack was the stress having to care for the children alone. See that? In this kingdom, it can be stressful. Hell, you you living with your mom, dad, and your husband is there, and y'all all bunking up together. Is, you know, can be hard in these Americas, man. But you by yourself with 3 young children, but they be proud as hell. They'll tell you that they don't need no man. And Esau, he snuck y'all with that, man. He snuck y'all with that. And it's not just our women. It's women of all the nationalities or all ethnicities, man, that's going through this shit. But mainly because we're under those curses of Deuteronomy chapter 28, it hits us harder. You're not supposed to be with these children like that, man. You know what I'm saying? all by yourself trying to, like, who's keeping them? Who, where why you need a somewhat of a break here and there. You know what I'm saying? That's where family values came into play. You had your your mother, grandmother. They would take the children off your hand for a little while. Let you go and stress down, man. Okay, but it says her apparent reason for the attack was the stress of having to care for the children alone. A nurse and a security guard at the hospital told police that Parker White allegedly did it because she had no help. Yup. I guess the guy that dropped him off said that Parker White's 5-year-old son reportedly attempted to console his mother after the alleged attack, telling her it's gonna be all right and not to cry. And hey, that's a Jake being raised up to be a simp. It's gonna be all right, mama. You know what I'm saying? You know how kids are, though. They love the parents, but you know what I'm saying? Yeah, that would definitely, after what she's done, he don't understand that. You know what I'm saying? Hey, she tried to take them out of here. The same little boy also allegedly told hospital staff that his mother was going to make them go to heaven. In addition to her alleged attempt to take the children out, she reportedly told police that she also wanted to take her own life. So there you have it, man. And, no, it's not. Esau sold y'all on that bullshit about you don't need no man. And it's like, we are under those curses, you know what I'm saying, of Deuteronomy chapter 28. And it's like people get into the smallest of an argument, and motherfuckers is throwing clothes out the window and they not thinking towards the future. I'm not saying that that's what happened with this particular woman, but a lot of the times, our women, they not about no hard times. They not about no stress. They mind switch and say, hey, nope, I'm uncomfortable. They'll throw your ass out of the house, or better yet, they'll leave with the kids and give you all kinds of problems trying to see your children and all this other shit. You know what I'm saying? I seen a video, I think it was earlier today. It was a short where a guy, he was trying to, just go and see his little man's graduate at the school, had a gift and all. And the lady at the damn baby mama at the school acting a goddamn fool. Right? Let's get this one real quick. One of the curses. Not going to be a long one, man. Hey, these are the children of Israel right here. The real children of Israel are going through this. Those people over there in that land, they're not going through anything like this here. Trust me. When was the last time you heard of a ooh-ish woman by herself and trying to delete her kids because she don't have no help? Hell out of here, man. Deuteronomy 28, verse 54, I think it is, or is it 6? No, 56, verse 56. The tender and delicate woman among you, which would not adventure to set the sole of her foot upon the ground, for delicateness and tenderness her eye shall be evil, towards the husband of her bosom, and towards her son, and towards her daughter. Right? And that's a big thing amongst us as Israelites. Matter of fact, I'm gonna see if I can find this other video. I was in another one of my channels earlier today, and I'm looking like, yeah, that's fucked up, And the little boy was saying, "Dad, I love you." Let's see. Yeah, Khan, I found it. It says, bitter baby mama rejects father. From basically, she don't want the guy. He there with a gift at the school, trying to, just congratulate his little man, But let me just play the video. This is for educational purposes only. Copyright disclaimer, not getting any monetary value off of it or anything. So let's just play it.
I do got rights. No, it's all right, son. The world needs to see how she act, because she crazy.
Here's this girl going back, by the way, from your raggedy ass mouth.
I just came to see my son graduate and get him a gift. That's all I did. You didn't make them by yourself, sweetie. And you ain't raised them by yourself. Look, I bought my son a gift for graduation. And look how she acting. Got my son crying because he wanted to see me. But this how bipolar people act. She just, I don't know what's wrong with her. Wake up, just stay praying, all right, bro? I love you, Dad. Love you too, man. Stay praying. Stay prayed up, son. It's gonna be all right. Stay prayed up, man. I love you. This is a video that...
Yeah, and there you have it. I've seen it earlier, like, goddamn. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, hey, this is what we're living with. This is what we're going through those curses, man. You know, and it's that. But see, this right here is about to fall too. Let me get this one because if you notice, she said something about his mom. You know, and generally, man, these women can't get along like that. But you think that, hey, if anything goes down, you know, the kids can fall back on their grandparents and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? But you isolating them, that don't help anything, man. You know. And you can clearly see she's bitter as hell, so she probably done burnt the bridges with every damn body she know. Jeremiah 31:22. How long wilt thou go about, O thou backsliding daughter? For the Lord hath created a new thing in the earth. A woman shall compass a man. You see, she's pulling him on along by the hand. He had no power. That brother had no might. Had he tried to do, get his son, they would have called the police. She would have called the police on him, and he would have went to jail. His seed. That's his seed. But that's why we need salvation, man. That's why we need out of this man's kingdom. That's going to be a part of that salvation, man, for us, man. That good news. It's us being out of the hands of our enemies. Because, see, our enemies got us in that situation. And our people are too blind. It's actually a part of the curses where they're too blind to see through it. And all praises to Yahweh Bashim Yahushua for this truth, man. For him showing us, what's up. And keeping us away from these wicked ass women, man. We don't want no parts of nothing like that, man. Well, what was that? Lamentations 4. I'm gonna start from the top. It says, and this is going off into the Israelites, you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. It says, how is the gold become dim? You consider it to be something precious. You know what I'm saying? Gold is like a precious metal. How is the most fine gold changed? This is that change. You're seeing us just against each other, just fighting against each other. No family structure, nothing, you know what I'm saying? It says the stones of the sanctuary are poured out in the top of every street. The precious sons of Zion, comparable to fine gold, how are they esteemed as earthen pitchers? Like you done went from being gold to a damn ashtray. The works of the hands of the potter. Verse 3, the point that I wanted to jump on here, says, even the sea monsters draw out the breast. They give suck to their young ones. The daughter of my people has become cruel like the ostriches in the wilderness. The tongue of the sucking child cleaveth to the roof of his mouth for thirst. The young children ask bread, and no man breaketh it unto him. And, just pretty much overall going off into the cruelty of not wanting your son to know their dad. That's very important. You should want, no matter what y'all got going on, you should love but they love their kids so much. They love them so much that they'll keep them from the very person that could actually give them, raise them up with some values, where they can at least see what it's like to be a man. You know what I'm saying? And you can, it's just crazy, bro. That brother, you could tell he was hurt, but he probably went along the simp route, ran across her ass and put one in her, and she just got nutso and just whatever. I'm telling you, man, that Eve, she uses those children as a weapon. But all that shit is about to change, man. Because you seen the one lady in the very first article, and she needed that help. I'm pretty certain had she had a good rapport with that baby daddy, and who knows how many baby daddies she had. She could have had a different dad for all three kids. Who knows? But at least if it was just, if that was the case, she could have been able to call all of them's dads and say, hey, man, I need a break. Come get your children. You know what I'm saying? Or she could have dropped them off with her parents. Or if they got a good rapport with the baby dad, you know what I'm saying? Or with his parents. And that's one of our ancient traits, man. You know what I'm saying? That family structure was real, man. See, Esau, he busts you down. See, he understands. Let me see. What is that scripture where it talks about two are better than one? And he causes discord among brethren too. That's also that Proverbs chapter 6. And the Lord hates someone that causes discord among brethren, man, or breaking up families or breaking up friendships, things of that nature. And that's exactly what the so-called white man has done. And he's only done what he's supposed to do, man. He's the wicked. Now that shit is starting to happen to them. Ecclesiastes 4:9. It says two are better than one because they have a good reward for their labor. For if they fall, the one will lift up his fellow. But woe to him that is alone when he falleth. for he have not another to help him up. See? Again, if two lie together, then they have heat. But how can one be warm alone? And if one prevail against him, two shall withstand him, and a threefold cord is not quickly broken. So, in this particular captivity that we're in, we should be pulling together and being stronger as families, and just see, but our people are destroyed for that lack of knowledge. Let me get that one. And our people don't know no better, so they fall for the okie doke every single time. And they don't have the strength to actually fight through that bitterness and that pride when it's me with that selfishness shit. They're not thinking about the family as a whole. Hosea 4:6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, because they don't know. Our people don't know, because thou hast rejected knowledge. And that's the thing too. Our people don't want nothing to do with the Lord, and what he, his judgments and his rules and regulations. They don't want nothing to do with that, because it's not fun to Jake. Jake like fun, man. It says, because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me. Seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy God, I will also forget thy children. See? So that's a part of those curses right there, man. That's a part of those curses. And Esau, again, let's go into that Proverbs chapter 6. We start from like verse 12, because it gives a great description of this man. It says, a naughty person, a wicked man, walketh with a froward mouth. Constantly, he come. Matter of fact, Esau, he comes up with a lot of laws, man, that the guy sit down at night upon his bed. The scriptures talks about that. And he gets up. I think that's that Micah 2:1. He gets up with some bullshit that he thought of the day before and put it into law. Verse 13, Proverbs 6:13. He waketh with his eyes. He speaketh with his feet. He teacheth with his fingers. Frowardness is in his heart. He deviseth mischief continually. He soweth discord. See? Constantly stirring up trouble. Therefore shall his calamity come suddenly. Suddenly shall he be broken without remedy. Verse 16, these 6 things do the Lord hate. Yea, 7 are an abomination unto him. So don't think that the Lord don't hate nothing, man. These Christians running around telling you how he loves every damn thing. But let's see what the Lord hates and what's an abomination to the Lord. A proud look, a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood, and heart that deviseth wicked imaginations, feet that be swift in running to mischief, a false witness that speaketh lies, and he that soweth discord among brethren. There is that causing discord, that separation, that division, putting family against family. And that's Esau. All that whole list right there, that was the so-called white man's game plan when he gets down on you every single day. And I quoted that Micah 2:1. And it says, woe to them that devises iniquity, see, and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hand. And that's Esau, man. He sits up all night long. What you think this guy Trump was doing with that executive order pen? That motherfucker had a whole goddamn briefcase of them bitches. Just signing. He's signing laws into play to overall fuck you, Jacob, man. Verse 2, and they covet fields, and take them by violence, and houses, and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house. That's what he has done. Even a man and his heritage. So they oppress the shit out of us, man. You know what I'm saying? And now, like I said again, things are starting to backfire and spin back on their asses. He done spent the block on himself. He's fucking himself over. Verse 3, therefore thus saith the Lord, behold, against this family do I devise an evil, from which ye shall not remove your neck, neither shall ye go haughtily, for the time is evil. So, Esau, he's about to get his shit speedily, man. That calamity is coming upon him. That's why you see him. They're making moves. They're writing all these different laws. They're coming up with all these different things to try and not just make America great again, but also just the Edomite people in general, no matter where they are. If you notice, their decline is on the move. They're not having babies like how they used to. Their birth rate is trash now. They're dying quicker than they're being born. So they're trying to, re-up and trying to come back, because they understand that, they pretty much overall, they already the minority, but they lying as if they're the majority, But that's him able to write things into law. Him owning the media, what he says goes. You know, but see, we know this man to be a liar, man. And again, you know what I'm saying? This is a sad hookup. But how is it that you don't know? You don't know nobody? But that's what social media has done to the world as well. People don't have nobody to fall back on. You know what I'm saying? You want to keep a good rapport. You may not even use them ever. You may not need no help from a person ever, but you at least want to have a good rapport with them just in case you do need them. You know? Because you trying to tell me this, you know, she don't have, well, maybe she don't, shit, but, you know, some sisters, some brothers, the kids don't have no favorite uncle. They don't have no favorite auntie. You know, when we was growing up, you know, you had you loved your uncles and your aunties. They'll come swoop. Hell, matter of fact, if you was going through it, you know, you was like, uncle, auntie, can I go with you for the weekend or something? Like, you know, they had no problems picking you up and spending time with you and stuff. You know, that's a part of the family. Going to see your grandparents. You know, we would generally be dropped off at the grandparents, you know, on some summertime shit. Like, we going with Grams and grandpa, grandma for the summer, and we'll see you in 3 months or so, mom or dad, whatever. No, it's not like that no more, man. People are struggling. Things are getting a lot more expensive. But that's the reason why, you know, it's so important to have it. The Lord is about family, man. That's one of those things that he talks about, how, you know, the man and the woman, they become one flesh. Esau, he don't care nothing about that. You know what I'm saying? He goes totally against what the scripture says, man. But he'll tell you he's a righteous man. The Lord said, what the Lord put together, let no man snatch apart, roughly paraphrasing. That man and woman come together, but Esau, what is he doing? He causes discord among brethren. He has set it up where the woman, she can say, I don't need no man. But why? Because so-called white man gave her Section 8. So-called white man gave her food stamps. Of course she can, if I got a damn a townhouse or a fucking condominium for $12 a month, and this motherfucker's giving me food stamps too. Because, you know, man, they've been doing well with that shit. They've been riding good. Always got a brand new car. Always got their hair and nails done. Jake just going to work, you know. She puts him through hell to see the children, even though he's paying child support. But see, Trump, he cutting all off into that shit now. So now what? And we're not tripping on it, because actually the Lord is working through Trump. He's using Trump to do what he's supposed to do to bring the chaos that needs to come to this place, man, so this place will fall. But anyway, just saw this, you know, like, damn, you know, damn. You know, hey, you're living in a cold world. Matter of fact, that's one of the things Yahushua spoke of too. Matthew 24:12, where it talks about how the disciples was asking, well, what would be happening in the last days and just before his coming. And one of the things he mentioned, he said, because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. It's so much sin out here. People just done lost their damn mind. They done lost it. And you ain't seen nothing yet. You just wait. And this is why the scripture talks about why things are good, roughly paraphrasing. People acting like this and things are still good. You know, people, it's not like, you know, you can't just, it's just no food nowhere. It's no water nowhere. You know, it's just, you know, people are just, you just wait when there's no food. That's coming. Wait till there's no, you know, this man is measuring your damn water out by a cup. Wait till things get really, really bad out here, man. If she's like that now, and she's done, like I said, they ain't about, you know, she going to jail, and they not about to get them kids back to her. And if they can find any family members that'll take the children, which, man, them kids will probably end up in a foster home, man, or the system, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? Because people not adopting children like that no more. These people would rather adopt a damn dog. They'll go to a shelter and adopt a fucking cat or something. But, you know, people not looking to taking kids like that no more, man. People don't want to have no kids. I just went into a lesson on that yesterday. These people don't want to have no children, so they're definitely not coming, you know, and grabbing up the whole group. If anything, they will be split up. And you know what? Esau will allow these LGBTQ people to come through. Two so-called white men can go through and get those babies with no problems at all. And next thing you know, things are being done to them. So this is the world you're living in, man. So I'm going to end out there. I pray that this lesson was edifying. Kwame Yasha Allah and a Baba Boy.